I have been struggling with weight management and trying to deal with some mind shift issues in the last, I'd say, well over 20 years. But just really wanting to get on the right track. I had already made some changes, but I felt like I hadn't quite elevated myself there, and I really needed some help organizing. The other things I've noticed is like, my bra, it's like almost on the last clasp. So like my bra is shifting down. I've never done that in my life ever. And then like people obviously are complimenting me like, oh, you look great. Like, oh, you're shining different. Like, what's going on? And I'm like, I'm doing everything. I'm not just doing one thing. I'm doing everything.
We have one of my great clients here, Sarah, just sharing her experience. So just a brief introduction.
My name is Sarah, and I am 38 years old. I'm a nurse, and I had been through a car accident in the last year, and I have been struggling with weight management and trying to deal with some mind shift issues in the last, I'd say, well over 20 years. But just really wanting to get on the right track. I had already made some changes, but I felt like I hadn't quite elevated myself there, and I really needed some help organizing my exercise and finding stability within myself to get to my confidence level and to make the big jumps in life, to set the goals and make the changes that I needed to feel like myself again.
So Sarah, if a friend was to ask you like what changed, like in like one sentence or briefly, what would you say changed from you making a decision and stepping into this transformation?
One change, I think one change for me was being honest with myself in order to truly make the changes that I needed to get to where I wanted to be.
So let's kind of talk about that, right? So the
Yeah.
change you wanted to make. So like what exact numbers or symptoms were you dealing with before we met? Whether it's weight, inches, energy, sleep, labs, anything like that.
Yeah, so excuse me, I had started off around 250 pounds. And I really wanted to get back down to the 220 or 200 mark. 200 mark would be my favorite goal. Right now, I'm around 225, so I've lost some weight. I also wanted to help with some pain issues that I was having. I knew the weight was causing some pain issues in my back and my neck, and I knew losing the weight would help. I had previously lost weight, and it was very helpful with my knees and my back and my neck. And so losing the weight was a big goal for that. The snow is coming, and doing snow removal would help if I could do it myself. So, but finding the physical stability within myself would help. The pain control would help with the stability, would help with other big decisions in my life.
hmm Okay, so pain control, you dropped 25 pounds, you got a good groove of things. So
Yeah.
kind of paint the picture of like what did a day in life look like? Like what clothes or even moments did you avoid in the past because of how you felt?
So I was very isolative. I didn't have a social group. I stuck to work and home. I'm a bit of a workaholic. I still am, but I didn't try new things. That was the thing for me. Wasn't making those intuitive leaps in my business, and I wasn't really making plans to get back into my big goals. For me, hiking is a big thing, and reaching for bigger bigger hikes was another thing. I always dreamed of things like Kilimanjaro and going out west to BC, and gradually getting there is something I knew I had to do. And this summer I went to Tobermory and started there, and now I'm looking in the spring to go to BC, and then I'm working on getting in the gym, I'm doing kind of like a personal monthly project to do the steps to get to Kilimanjaro, and I'm working on a 5 to 10 year plan to get to Kilimanjaro itself. So those things to me were impossible before, whereas now they seem very real and something I can do. And that was something not only was I isolating myself from, but goals I would never even dream, I could only dream of, but never thought were possible for me. So
That's beautiful. It's just like a world opened up full of possibilities from you stepping into this 2.0. So
yeah, so I went from isolating myself to creating a world that used to be a dream world is now something very real and possible. And I feel like I have the confidence to do that.
beautiful. I mean, that's proud. I would say proud would be the understatement in terms of a coach seeing that shift. I know how it was the mental state and how you made decisions before joining versus just in what, a few short months. You really made the shifts in the first month or two, I think, is when things started to really shift for you. So kind of paint the picture. You also mentioned working out because we did have a thing where you were against working out. Remind me again. Are
Well, no,
you
I had
haven't?
never been to the gym.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was people pleasing was a big issue. And so for me, I thought like if I went during the day when it was busy, I would interfere with other people's routines because I was new and I would be
Mhm.
taking my time or I would not know what I was doing. So I would interfere with how their routines were. And I've come to learn that not only is the gym a very welcoming space, but people pleasing is a self harm activity because one, the other people don't usually know what you're doing. And two, it typically interferes and hurts you in some way. I was getting up early for a 7 a.m. shift, but I was going at 11 o'clock at night and I was there for an hour. So I ended up cutting into my sleeping time. I wasn't resting well. And I was very tired at work and almost falling asleep at the wheel coming home from work. So in turn, I was people pleasing at the gym. Nobody knew about it, and I wasn't really helping anybody, and I was hurting myself in the end. So, getting in the gym was a great experience too, because I also learned who Sarah was. Everywhere else I was at work, I was Nurse Sarah. At home, I was a sister, I was a daughter. I always had a role. Whereas now I kind of get to know who authentic Sarah is. And the more I get to know who that is again, I want to be that person and I want to jump into that role more and more and in different places and seems to be opening up doors for me and I can't get enough of that and I just want to keep jumping and jumping. So
Yeah, that's beautiful. Who are we really outside of the labels? And it's good that breaking that mental paradigm of people pleasing or putting yourself last was like the gateway for you to experience that. So, I mean, obviously you've tried some things in the past. So kind of just briefly go over like what have you tried? Because again, most of our clients have done things, whether it's independent research or different things. So briefly show what did you try before joining and why didn't it work for at least this phase?
I had done prior to my accidents, I had tried HIIT and yoga and they were really great, but I think after the accidents, my injuries didn't really allow for me to get right back into that. I needed to do strength building exercises, which is something I'd never done, and going to the gym really helped with that. I didn't know what to do there, so having somebody help me with those exercises and tell me what I needed to do, set that up for me really helped. And then also, like a diet. Yes, I was eating the right things, but I wasn't eating enough. And so for somebody to set me up with that and give me some education on what I needed to eat when, telling me like, yeah, you're eating the right stuff, but you're not eating enough of it. And you're not eating enough of it earlier in the day, and you're eating like kind of the wrong stuff at night, right? So it was really great to have somebody organize my day with food as well, because then I have more of an idea of what my body needs, and I really came to appreciate food. I found I had a lot of eating behaviors, and when I say that, it was like my relationship with food was really an emotional one. And I know people say that, but to experience that change, that shift really helped because I see people around me experience the same things and it really shuts me down because I'm like, no, I gotta leave because this is not okay. And so I feel that emotional shift with food, and it makes me really appreciate food as nourishment now. And I don't get hungry and I don't get cravings. And for me, that's the first time in my life that's ever happened. And I think that's been a big part for my personal journey that way. So
And that's beautiful. That
yeah.
shift along with nutrition. So obviously people are going to wonder like, okay, what results did we get? Right. But before we get into the results, there's always hesitancy for making a decision like you did of joining something on the internet, something that's in person or something like is different from what you tried before. So like what almost made you say no, whether it's time, money, hormones, doubt, and then what made you say yes?
I think it's always money. Money is always an issue for people. You have to pay for the program, or you have to pay for the app, or you have to pay for the supplements, or you have to pay for more food, or you have to pay for the gym, or getting new shoes to go to the gym. You have to pay for everything. But the reality is if you want that change, if you're really tired of feeling the way you feel, and you understand that, you've paid for somebody else's life and you kick them out the door, or you got tired of paying for a crappy car, so you got a new car, like, and you were willing to pay that bill. So if you're willing to make changes for all those other things, then you will realize that if you're tired of feeling crappy or you're tired of feeling a certain way, then you will invest in yourself, because ultimately at the end of the day, you have to live in that body, you have to live with that spirit, and you really are worth that investment. And there's always a way. You will always find the money to find what it is that you need to move on in your day. And it's worth it. It really is worth it, because once you feel better, then you'll get a better job, or you'll work harder at the current one and get a better pay, or like the money will always come. You will always find a way. You'll spend your money on the things that really matter. And if your body hurts or you are just tired of feeling the way you feel, it will come. You will find it.
So what did you feel like after you committed, after you overcame that hurdle of that? What did you like first couple weeks in, right? What was the shift that you noticed? Because usually it takes people a long time before feeling differences. But what did you feel in the first 3 to 4 weeks?
It was overwhelming. The onboarding was overwhelming, setting up the food and everything. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so much food. I've never eaten this much food. It was overwhelming. But the reality is again, if you want it, you'll work for it and you'll get it done. And to me, it was very important. I wanted to feel better. I wanted that stability. And within, I think, the second end of the second week, beginning of the third week, I was like, I am feeling a little bit better. I have a little bit more energy, or, oh, I'm sleeping a little bit better. Something like that was starting to happen. And I was like, let's keep going with this. Let's see what happens. To me, it's about discovery, right? It's about seeing what happens next. And I'm always curious about that next step. And for me, it was like, just you committed to this, let's see. And it's been very much worth it. And it's not about going on a diet, it's about making the change, right? A diet to me just sounds like, okay, I'm committing to it for 6 weeks and then I'm going back to what I did. This is about making a change. This is about doing something for yourself, and then you're making a change. This is say goodbye to the old life. And people are like, oh, I did it for a week. I've been doing it for a week, or I've been doing it for 2 months. Well, why are you keeping track? Does that mean you're keeping track because you're going back to the old place? You're quitting? No, I'm doing this. That's all you have to say. I'm doing this. We're moving forward. I don't even know how long I've been doing this, because this is my life. This is how life is now.
It's a
So
lifestyle, way of life, and it's beautiful that you brought up the overwhelming aspect. That's why we have the ramp up. So we have that 3 week ramp up to transitioning in any new job or new occupation. It's like,
yeah.
okay, here's what's familiar, here's the unfamiliar. Get the rough edges, smooth that out, and then it's pretty much smooth sailing. So now that you're this far, a couple months in, what have you noticed shifted? Obviously, we're 25 pounds down, correct?
Yeah.
Outside of the weight loss, outside of inches dropped, I know that around the midsection we lost a lot of inches. So outside of that, what kind of shifts have you noticed in like the other areas, whether it's strength, sleep, how you handle stress or emotional triggers, some of the non-physical shifts that you noticed?
I just want to say though, before I move on to the other number, non-numbers and things like that, the onboarding, even though it was overwhelming, and I do believe I think I asked a lot of questions with the onboarding, there was a lot of support. People like you guys answered a lot of questions that I asked, and I might have even been a little like attitude at sometimes, but you guys handled me really well, and there was a lot of support. So I just want to throw that out there. But the other things I've noticed is like, my bra, it's almost on the last clasp. So my bra is shifting down. I've never done that in my life ever. And then like people obviously are complimenting me like, "Oh, you look great." Like, "Oh, you're shining different. Like, what's going on?" And I'm like, "I'm doing everything. I'm not just doing one thing. I'm doing everything. Life is good." And then it's like for me, it's just being able to think, oh, when I started this, I had dreams, but now I'm like, now I have goals. My dreams have shifted to goals. To me, that big change alone just screams like, this is real. This is life. That to me is the biggest non-number based shift. And the other thing I find exciting is like it almost seems like every week I'm going up in my weights. Not only am I in the gym for the first time ever, but like my weights are going up. And it's like a game now. Oh, am I going up this week or do I gotta wait for another week? So for me, that's really exciting. So
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and this month it's kind of fun too because I'm kind of exploring the gym. I
Mm,
don't I don't really veer from the weights, but this like last night there was nobody in the gym, so I started walking around, see what the machines are. And I was like playing on the rowing machine and playing on the other machines, just seeing what things are. So to me it was fun.
nice, nice. So it's more who you became through the process more than just the numbers.
That's
So,
correct.
okay, so let's talk about that. So who are you today compared to when we started? You mentioned your dreams became goals. You're seeing the physical manifestation of the vision that you had before you started. But what feels easy now that used to kind of feel overwhelming?
Getting out of bed. I'll say
Uh,
that. Getting out of bed. Just that alone, every morning I would wake up and I would tell people, yes, my migraines especially are being controlled with meds and talks, but I would still wake up with some pressure, or I'd be waking up kind of wincing still a little bit because even though the pain's like covered, I would still wonder if I was having pressure or like wondering if it would still kind of be hard to get out of bed. But now it's like I just get up and get out of bed. Like I'm feeling refreshed. I know I'm not going to hurt. My neck's not going to hurt. I feel limber and things are good. I know if I stay on top of my mobilization and I'm not eating the inflammatory foods, I'm doing really well. And like, I did have one flare up, I think, this entire time. And I was not doing well, so I was in bed for a day. And that I could feel it was not good. Like I need to stay on top of it. And so for me, just being able to roll out of bed like that is great. That to me is top notch.
yeah, beautiful. I didn't even shit. I didn't even know that. Some wins here too. Okay, cool. I mean, that's a quality of life thing, right? Is something you do every day is wake up. You don't really realize how different feeling good feels like if for so long you haven't felt good and you kind of normalized it. So now you can see the shift. And then when you're able to go back to like not feeling good, you see, like, wow, I felt really great when all the things were marked up.
So
So
living with chronic pain, right? It's really great when you can get rid of the pain, and that's what the Botox did for me. But even then, sometimes you get like pressure. It's not the actual pain and all the other symptoms. And that was what I was really thankful for the Botox. But then when you remove those other symptoms that you still have by eating right and exercising and staying on top of all the other pieces in your life, you realize there's so much more life to live. Like, yes, you've made that like 80% improvement with the meds, but if you stay on top of everything else, your life can be 100%. Like, so for me, it's been that much more of a change. And it's been really nice to have just to be able to roll out of bed in the morning.
So talk on that. So on your own, what you were doing before, you had the Botox and meds. So then what did we do specifically that helped you with that? if you
I,
remember.
I really believe the mobilization activities are really a big piece of that for me. Like I said, the one day where I was like laid out with the migraine there, the next day it was so hard to get out of bed. My neck, my back, my especially my hips, they were just really sore. And like, but then I did my mobilization activities and things started limbering up. I went for a light walk and things really started limbering up. And then by the next day, I was golden. Things were good. So for me, it's staying on. I told you when we first started making the blueprint, put the mobilization in every day. I want to stay on top of that. That's important for me. I've had a lot of injuries. I think it'll help with my neck. And so for me, I really think just moving every day. I was walking, but I
Mm.
didn't really have like specific targeted activities for those injuries. And so for me, and being a tall woman on top of that, I think it's just really important to keep all those joints and things moving. And so I think, and recently I started the Omega, so we'll see if that also helps.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
so
Yeah, because we gave you the whole supplement stack, or at least some recommendations to support you there. So then, I mean, let's kind of move forward to like at the end of the day, there's going to be someone who's similar to yourself. So I always like to say, like, once you obviously this is at the end, 25 pounds down, making all the mental, emotional, physical shifts is important. And there's probably someone who wants to do the exact same thing. So speak to the woman who's watching, who's in her late 30s, 40s, 50s, with the career or like yourself, career and business and like a lot of things going on. What would you tell her in that position? Or even better yet, what would you tell your old self who may be like on the fence or who's like thinking about it, not sure? Like, what would you share with them?
do it. Absolutely do it. If you have time at 10 o'clock at night to run out to Dairy Queen to go into town and get that ice cream, you have time to go into town and go to the gym at the same time at night, and you're doing it. So do it now and don't waste time. Don't wait a year and sit there and contemplate it. Do it now. Find somebody that you think is speaking to you and is saying it to you right in front of your face because you're scrolling the phone anyways, and just do it. Do it now.
Do it now.
Do it now.
Especially if it's aligned with what you need and it fits with your lifestyle, right?
Yeah,
Because
because your dreams will become goals and you can do it and you will do it. And don't waste the time. Time is so important. You can't get it back. So,
so what do you feel like the direct support, the holistic system? What made this fun? Because you mentioned that it's not like a diet, it's not like a workout. You mentioned it's like a way of life. So what made it feel like a way of life and sustainable for you?
all of it, just like I had already made some diet changes. So, having that plan really helped cement that for me and tell me what it was I needed to do. I was already kind of getting mobile every day and I knew I needed that every day, but I wasn't doing the right thing. So again, having that turning me and pointing me in the right direction for that, giving me that plan really helped. And then having the support of a group of women who every day they're doing the same thing as me. I think it was really important to have a community that is in the same place, has the same goals, is a healthy environment for me to go to. I don't have that where I am. I'm starting to, but I didn't at the time. And so I think it was really great to have that outlet and that cheering squad to go to and having a dashboard every day that said, hey, this is what you got to do, get it done by midnight. And then just having also a spot where I can be like, hey, this is what's going on. And you were like, hey, it's okay. Let's talk about it. And there was always that response that I could like trust that something was coming back and I knew it would help. And I always tried it and it always worked. So for me, it was just having that app to go to and just anything I needed, it was there. The recipe book also helped because if I got bored of having the same foods, I would just open the book and it was there and it's been added to my arsenal and I'm never bored of food anymore. So
Yeah, so it's like that real personalized support, the community, so that way you can evolve and grow by osmosis, and then the resource. So before we wrap up, let's touch on the resources, right? Because it isn't just getting everything personalized to you. It isn't just the
mhm.
one-to-one support, the accountability, the
Mhm.
community. So let's talk about the resources. What did you really have access to? Because obviously they may not see what's inside. So what kind of stuck to you? I know we have a bunch of resources in there.
So the app is amazing because it also had a lot of like reading references and video references you could go to. Like if I was struggling with mindset, I could go to the mindset. If I was struggling with like there were a couple of other, you have like the whole that one resource center with the readings and stuff. So
Hmm.
like when I was writing my affirmations, you have one for that, and that was really helpful for me. And then you attach the MyFitnessPal as well. So when I first started going to the gym, I found I was coming home and I was getting hungry by like the end of half an hour of sitting at home. And so I was like going in there. They even have like different recipes in there of like what you can have post-workout snacks or something. And so that was a really good, helpful app because you could tie it to what you have left for the day. So like if you have like so many proteins or so many carbs or whatever, so you could like flip through the recipes to tie it to what you have left. And so like I think all of the resources you gave were really helpful for whatever I needed. There's just so many that you could A, find it easy, and B, it was just targeted to what you needed at that time. So I
Yeah.
found it all really, really helpful. I never felt like I was an island and I never felt like I was stranded. And it was just really great because it was just like everything I needed, but it was, hello?
We were back.
Oh, good. Sorry, our generator just kicked on, so maybe my internet kicked out for a sec. We're having a
Hey,
storm.
all of it's raw footage. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you said so you're talking about the resources there. You kind of everything you needed was there, and you were kind of mentioning how it's like it's right when you need it, so you don't have to do everything at once, right?
Yeah. Well, and all the resources weren't just like thrown at me all at once, like watch all these videos, everything has to be done, like do it now. It was like as I needed it, I could learn where they were and like, every week there were like certain videos and things that came to me to watch and try. And so it was really neat. Even though they were all available to me, they were still introduced to me at different times, which was nice as well. So
Yeah. Yeah, everything is well thought out and intentional. Over the last 10 years, I like to see like different patterns in terms of success rate. So if you're
yeah,
wondering like, why it works so well, is because you'll see the exit interview questionnaire. I use that feedback to continue to improve the experience.
sure.
So last thing is like aha moments before we wrap up. Is there any aha moments or anything last that you would like to share before we wrap up here? Anything that kind of stuck out to you?
I think I think a couple of aha moments where like especially this past like couple weeks where I realized when I first started going in the gym, I was really scared because I didn't know who I was. And I was really nervous about going in the gym because it was the only place where I had to be my authentic self. And because I didn't know who I was, that made me very nervous. And now I'm in a place where I'm like, I know who I am, I like who I am, and I'm looking for more places to be that person. And to me, that was just kind of like, oh, uh-huh, okay. I like that. Like to me, that was a big aha moment. And the other one was like realizing the importance of rest and not people pleasing. Those two things were really big aha moments because being such a workaholic, I never took that time for myself. I was just go, 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 keep my head down. And really decompressing at night has made me have better restful sleep and not doom scrolling at night. I've had better sleep. I've been more focused and I've actually been able to be intentional throughout my day. It's just been such a big game changer for me. And I think that's where a lot of my like belly fat has disappeared because my cortisol's down and that type of thing. So I think those were really big aha moments for me.
That's night and day. You have more mental clarity, better decision making, peace of mind, better
Yeah,
sleep. It's all okay. Well, I mean, I know our time isn't over. It's just, I would say this has just begun. You've gotten beautiful transformation in such little time, and it's a compound effect, right? So it's just going to keep going and going. So yeah, appreciate you taking some time to have this conversation.